I helped construct a new wonder of the world on a remote Spanish mountaintop.
It's unbelievable that someone would build this.
Even cooler, there's a secret message encoded inside the architecture.
This building is crazy. Every single piece is different.
In my quest to crack the code, I battle gale force winds.
Oh!
Scale dizzying heights.
There's no elevator, huh? You haven't finished it? This is like almost a straight drop.
And even dodge an explosion or two. I had no idea that architecture could be this dangerous.
Who designed this? What is this space? What?
My name is Danny Forster. I learned a lot about engineering in architecture school. But after graduation, I thought it was time to get my hands dirty. So I went looking for tough work. Some things you just can't learn from a book. I'm not sure I knew what I was in for. But I think I'm up for it. They say to achieve enlightenment, you have to climb the highest mountain. Today, I'm climbing a steel mountain.
Oh, man.
Nearly 60 degrees steep.
Oh, this is bad.
And 170 feet high at the peak.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, man!
Wait, what am I doing up here? Okay, let me back up a little bit.
Buenos dias. I am in Galicia, Spain. A region in the northwest of the country, isolated by a huge mountain range. Why am I here? Because a New York architect and master Spanish builders are working together to build one of the largest construction projects in European history.
Behold what will soon be known as the City of Culture, a wild, rolling topographical wonder of modern architecture, an 870,000 square foot complex comprised of 6 mind-bending buildings. From a library to a museum, even an opera house. Designed by world-renowned architect Peter Eisenman, the City of Culture is being built on a hilltop overlooking the medieval city of Santiago de Compostela. This is a new mountaintop. Look at that crazy facade. Look at that roof. Inside, the buildings are equally brain-melting.
It's absolutely insane. It's like being inside the mind of an architectural master.
There are lines and curves and grids projected all over the place. But why? I'm actually an architect, and I can't put my finger on it. But there is a cryptic order to Eisenman's design. Some hidden meaning inside the architecture, and I need to figure out what it is. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna help build Galicia's City of Culture, and hopefully, crack the architect's code. My first task? Hanging iron with the steelworkers on one of the project's massive facades.
¿Cómo te llamas? Jesus, I'm Danny. Nice to meet you. Do you speak English?
No.
This is gonna be great.
Practically no one speaks English.
You want me to drive?
This is not gonna make my quest any easier.
I don't understand Spanish either. So this is one of the most incredible facades in the entire project. Not only is the facade leaning out, it's curving in as well. So it's twisting in 2 directions. It's coming down. It's coming down, bang, it's on. Now, so this piece is now sitting perfectly on the L bracket. Let's go, Miguel. Wow.
Because of the building's wild contours, this beam was made to fit this one place only.
Oh, I looked. That was bad.
No 2 pieces are alike.
Oh, there is a reason why they tell you not to look. At this point, my left eye has actually returned to normal, but my right eye, I don't know why, all I see are small chickens. The crane now has lowered the boom a little bit. Give me some slack. This horizontal member is in, thanks to the able hands of Jesus and Miguel. And so, could you have done it without me? Do you feel like the team would have been complete if I wasn't there? Enough said.
open in 2012, the City of Culture will have taken 10 years to build at a cost of $500 million. And that's only if they make their deadline. Builders here are in a constant battle with two things: the region's notorious weather.
This is like this every afternoon here.
And the design. Every single piece of these oddly shaped buildings must be custom made. Any delay costs precious time and money, both of which are running out. And since Galicia is already one of the least developed regions in Europe, they're putting everything on the line. This project's success would mean increased tourism, international recognition, and an architectural landmark for the ages. Failure, however, would be a costly embarrassment, leaving Galicia's City of Culture incomplete and overshadowed by the area's other big attraction.
Santiago de Compostela is famous for being a pilgrimage site. For the past 800 years, millions and millions of pilgrims have come right here to visit the cathedral.
But in a land steeped in faith, fulfilling the ambitious promise of the City of Culture is putting that faith to the test. Right now, I'm going to be tested, installing a glass facade on the library.
When you're hanging glass and it weighs more than about 100 pounds, it's all about the suction machine. Get this puppy on there, and then move the glass.
This particular piece of glass weighs half a ton.
And we're off. Now remember, each one of these are uniquely made. If they break one, they have to go back to the factory and actually make a new one.
There are literally hundreds of distinct shapes and sizes on this facade. Any one piece can cost up to $1,500 and take days to replace. No pressure, though.
Very gently spin it around. Where is this piece going? I don't know.
La referencia.
Each one's got its own code name, its own number. Checks the code against the drawings.
173.
Taking a piece of glass all the way to the top of the building. It's about 120 feet in the air, just like when Batman would use the bat. Look at this thing go. The rain's starting to come right now. Wind and rain. See? It's like blowing in the wind. Oh, 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 oh!
That was close. The guys bring the panel back to the ground until the wind dies down.
All right, second try. Wind was too much. As the glass piece is going up,
So am I.
vámonos arriba! Look at this facade. I mean, it is ridiculous. Look at that piece. Look at that piece. Trapezoids, squares, rectangles, weird chopped off parallelograms. And I think it's one of the most complicated facades ever attempted.
Deciphering the architect's code is going to be a lot harder than I thought.
You can see right there where this piece is going. And it's the top of the building. This is the, want me to hold it? It is the highest piece this building has. Oh, man.
And up here, the wind is even worse.
Oh, and I am miserable right now. I've been told that more construction workers die in these than they do in any other accident. Just gotta be so careful. We got this piece dangling from a crane, hung only by suction. Oh, man. Oh, boy.
Tranquilo, que no.
Okay, I'll be tranquilo. I'm tranquilo. Poco más, a little more. It's coming down. It's coming down here. Okay? Can't believe they're letting me do this. You see that right there? It's overlapping. It needs to be about an inch to the left. So what we're gonna do now is basically put a shim underneath this right-hand corner in order to tilt it a little bit this way. Right here, right? Sneak it in here. Okay, jacking it up.
Aqui por baixo desse timbre.
I'm trying. Okay, all right, it's in. Now when I push that glass against that window, it should be just perfect like that. Okay, here we go. So you're sure when you take this off, it's not gonna fall? It's not gonna fall. Oh, man. The suction is off, the glass is on, and we're not dead.
That went well enough.
Nice job, man. That was good. Let's get down.
They want me to install one more piece. Thankfully, on the ground floor.
We're gonna take this panel in and block out this space.
This shouldn't be too bad.
Bye. Come down a little bit. Just inching it. Got to get it just right. Gonna lock it down. It's the wrong piece. Wrong piece. Doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. It's the wrong piece.
Wrong piece.
This building is crazy. Every single piece is different.
But what for? Is having no coherent pattern here somehow part of a larger pattern? Or is the architect merely toying with us?
I'll hold it there. So if this was 202, and how big was the piece?
198.
4 centimeters off. I mean, it's got to be exact. If you don't have the exact one of the puzzle, it doesn't go in. No one's ever done this before, and it's difficult. There's just no two ways about it.
The first is difficult. The second building is more difficult. The third, more difficult. And the difficult is growing.
It's like stepping up to the challenge. Each level gets harder and harder and harder.
By so deeply encoding his message into the design, the architect has made the City of Culture not only a puzzle to solve, but a puzzle to build. And of the 6 buildings on the site, none is more complex and exasperating to build than this one. It looks like some kind of crazy ski jump, but it's actually the museum. This is the City of Culture's Mount Everest, and nearly every facet of its construction demands innovation. Our task today? Seal the roof watertight with concrete. But no one's ever succeeded in pouring concrete at this angle.
Much steeper than it looks.
58 degrees to be exact. Expecting anything to stick at that angle is nuts. But the builders are determined to formulate a mixture that will. So, they've created a mock-up of the roof for testing.
And what they did was sprayed concrete onto this mock-up to test how that concrete would fare on the real pour. The first time they used a dry mixture, and guess what happened? Everything fell right down onto the ground. Now, we're gonna spray on this wall and see if it holds. If it doesn't, then we're in trouble. This is by far the steepest and most difficult roof they're gonna pour on the entire project. So here's the truck, it's got it in here right now. They have this new special mixture of concrete, which literally they've invented for this project. You can see it's a really wet mix. And we're gonna find out if it's gonna slide right down this mountain or hold on tight. All right, oh, it's graceful.
From the architect's imagination to concrete reality, the amount of time and innovation required here could throw the entire project off schedule.
Oh! I just ate some experimental concrete. They didn't have the air quite right. Pressure was too high, so we gotta do it again. Otra vez! The good news is, based solely upon flavor, I think we're in good shape.
I'm no concrete expert, but this doesn't look right.
So what do you think?
Hay que prepararlo.
¿Qué piensas? It's not working?
Joder.
Wow, it failed.
Capa todo.
It's all gonna fall. The whole wall's gonna fall, he's saying. This is not good. Looks like the 60-degree angle of this insane wall of the museum is a little bit too much for the concrete. That means they gotta go back to the drawing board, begin studying the mixture, trying to find that right balance.
And that means more time lost and more money down the drain.
They're not happy. If you want to learn more about this project, or you want to learn more about me, just check out our website, discovery.com/builditbigger.
Galicia's City of Culture boasts some of the most mind-bending architecture I have ever seen. I'm still trying to decipher the meaning behind the madness. But the more I see, the more I understand. So far, I've been able to hone in on 4 essential elements that the architect has imposed onto the design.
In most buildings, you have 4 walls, a door, and a roof. That's about it. In the City of Culture, there's 4 things you gotta know. Number 1, big columns, they hold up the roof. Number 2, small columns, they hold the interior floors. Third thing, flow lines determine how the buildings move and turn. And finally, these grid lines in the ceiling run from the top of the building through the entire site. Got it? Because I don't.
At least one of these elements must be a key to deciphering the architect's code. though it's too soon to tell which are significant. And for the people building this thing, it's these 4 elements that make their job incredibly complicated.
There has just never been a building like this ever even attempted. And right now, they're building 6 of them at the same time.
To see how they create these incredible undulating interior surfaces, you gotta get backstage.
I'm standing in the interstitial space that very soon no one will ever see, above the ceiling, but below the curved roof. It's right here where you can actually understand how they make those incredible curved surfaces. And the trick is, no curved pieces at all. It's all a series of rods, each one bent a little bit more than the one before it.
They call this amazing lattice work the interior ribbing. It's the actual skeleton of the ceiling. Workers use lasers to map the exact position of each rib from the ground down here before it gets welded into place up there. Like the glass panels outside, every single rib is custom made. Each has been coded by a computer and fits only one possible position in the building's entire design.
So he's got to actually find the right one to put in the right place. Imagine like a jigsaw puzzle, you get one piece wrong, you're in trouble.
And when you've got tens of thousands of puzzle pieces to deal with, that can add up to one nasty headache.
56, 53. Ella, vale.
This one here?
Coge esta, coge esta.
Aquí? All right, don't look. Sweet welding action. All of the wild shapes happen with those ribs, but you only understand them and see those shapes when you put on sheetrock, otherwise known as placas.
Step 1, installing the placas wherever it's needed. Sometimes 100 feet above the floor.
Okay. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Carlos,
Step 2, cutting with Carlos.
come on.
Let's do it. Let's go up. Show me how it's done. Nice. Can I try?
Que Jordan.
All right. Watch the line. Why was Carlos's so much better than mine?
Hey, suave.
Suave. I wasn't doing it suave. Look at the difference from Carlos, Danny. Carlos, Danny.
Muy mal.
Muy mal. I gotta apologize to Peter Eisenman for this little bit.
Speaking of Eisenman, maybe Carlos can offer some insight into the mind of the architect.
What kind of person designed this thing?
Un loco, un genio.
You hear that? It's the work of a crazy genius.
Seems like Carlos is about as confused as I am.
I gotta clean up my line. Third step, get with my man Domingos here and put on the tape to smooth out the corners and get nice right angles. Let's do this. This is crazy. What is this space? All right, I'm getting out of the man basket. Is this gonna hold me? This is sketchy, man. Cardinal rule of safety is never get outside your man basket.
While I hold on for dear life, Domingos calmly tapes up and spackles over the seams.
So look at that. He's got moves. All right, so we got the goo. Just do it. Oh, it's gonna follow me. And we're just gonna smooth it out. Oh, I gotta get up, don't I? Oh, slipping. It's okay, something to point out. We're not on a flat surface. Whew. Smooth out those 2 pieces of sheetrock. Make them one. Oh. Look at that. So we just closed up about 4 pieces of sheetrock. I'm getting out of here. Sketchy. Oh. There's hundreds and thousands of more pieces of sheetrock to close up together. You got a crazy job, I'm not gonna lie.
After working inside all day, I get the distinct sense that those ever-present flow lines and grid lines are actually vital clues to unlocking the hidden meaning behind the architect's code. But before I can investigate further, I get word that at the museum roof mock-up, another batch of concrete has arrived for testing. The previous attempt failed miserably. The mix was much too watery and poured right out the bottom. Until they can get the mix just right, they cannot pour it onto the 58-degree slope of the actual museum roof. Progress is at a standstill, and the concrete crew is anxious for the new batch to work. This time, right out of the chute, it looks quite a bit drier.
What do you think? Te gusta?
Un pelín de agua es bueno.
Yeah? He thinks it needs a hair more water, then gonna give it a go. So she added just a little bit more water. Jose's happy with the mixture, and hopefully we're gonna have ourselves some sticking concrete.
Jose makes one final adjustment, tightening down the rubber nozzle.
Okay, Jose. And we're going for it. Okay.
So far, this mix seems to be just right. But wait! I'm back on the mock-up of the museum roof, spraying experimental concrete. For some reason, the rubber nozzle exploded.
Jose, mea culpa? Not my fault?
No problem.
You sure?
No.
Okay. Wow. Good news is, it's just a small tear in the hose. No one got hurt. Were you rolling when that happened? Oh, you did? Not cool. Not cool. Literally when that happened, I took this thing, I tossed it and then jumped. But when you're in a man basket, you got nowhere to go. So I look at Jose's face. Jose looks at me like, ooh. A rock, a piece of aggregate from the concrete, got stuck and clogged the hole. All the air pressure pushed in, and then finally it exploded and ripped a tear right through the top of the hose.
On top of that, the concrete mixture failed to stick to the mock-up wall again. So for the frustrated crew, it's back to the drawing board. As for me,
I'm sort of lucky I'm alive. That was scary.
in my quest to crack the architect's code and unlock the hidden meaning, I've learned a remarkable fact. While the City of Culture may be a wonder of modern design, most of its buildings are being covered the old-fashioned way, with stone.
Spain is famous for its stones, and Spanish masons have been working with it for years. But at the City of Culture, they're using a local stone in a totally new way.
This morning, I'm driving just north of Santiago de Compostela to the quarry that supplies the massive amount of stone required for the project.
So much was required that the City of Culture literally found a guy to buy an entire hillside and excavate the entire hill to find and mine this never-before-used stone.
Looks like I'm standing on the surface of the moon right now. Pablo, I'm Danny.
Yeah, I'm Pablo. How are you?
Pablo Campo owns this mountain.
And all of the stone, your responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. We produce in this quarry.
Well, show me what is the first step in the process. Almost like a chisel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look at it. It just flakes right off. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. So,
Oh, the requirements are unbelievably strict, both in terms of color, size, and quality. So this piece that just came off might only make one piece.
yeah, exactly. So this is a crazy project. And
This
it's
is
very,
crazy.
Yeah, very difficult.
So you don't know what you're gonna get when you start cutting.
Many different colors on the stone.
Pablo tells me that the architect insists that only this local stone be used in the City of Culture.
This type of geological formation exists only here in
Only
Muras.
here. If you want any other place, you don't find it.
Oh, God. How do you get up here? Okay, Pepe. How do you do it? How do you drive this thing?
4 posiciones en cada uno.
4 positions. Okay. 1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4.
4. Done. I'm going in, Pepe. Coming down. Oh, wow. Wow. Pepe! I'm making some rock, Pepe! Oh, yeah, Eisenman. I'm building this building for you, man. Yeah!
Oops.
Good luck, my friend.
Hey.
Pepe knocks all the rock out. They bring it down with the dump truck and bring it right here. And then, when the real manual labor starts, it's up to me, Angel, and the crew to split this thing by hand. Okay, vámonos.
Vámonos. That's right, by hand.
So he's just chiseling it, just whacking it, just along the line of a vein.
Medieval-style masonry in service of cutting-edge architecture. Another mandate of the architect.
We're talking about tens of thousands of panels. So they have to knock out each day between 240 and 400 panels. And it's just these two guys down here knocking on this stone. Okay, so these are my tools. This is my mallet. This is my chisel. Look out for my hand. Okay. It's hard. So it's all about finding the vein. It's not about brute strength. It's about finding those weak spots and inserting the chisel.
Each slab must be big enough to make a 50 by 50 centimeter square.
Oh, is that bad?
No wonder staying on schedule has been such a challenge. I'm not leaving here until I get at least one good one.
Look at that.
Well, vale. Toma.
This guy's like 75 years old. I'm like dying over here.
Así.
Whoa! Listen here. How does that look at that? Now we're going to the crowbar. Okay.
Arriba.
That's it. We split it. Dos. We got two stones
Justo.
perfectly split up. Nicely done, huh? Not bad.
Una piedra.
Not too bad.
Now, each slab gets cut down to size.
Two diamond-coated rotating blades. So the edges become unbelievably smooth. So after two cuts, this is what you got. And it goes right here. All these are ready to get shipped out.
I feel like the use of local handcrafted stone is somehow a key part of the architect's hidden message. But to complete this next step towards cracking his code, I need to see just how the stone pieces are being used.
Oh my God.
This will be the roof of the library.
This is unbelievable. It's like being on an insane mountain. Stone hills, rolling grids, cuts.
Everywhere I look is covered in grid lines. Like latitude and longitude lines on a map.
Wow. It's unbelievable that someone would build this. All right, so the roof is almost finished. There's just one area more to go. This is this last hole right here they're working on.
This is a four-man team of masons. They moved here from Poland just to work on the project.
You work in my team?
I'm half Polish. That should be automatic entrance into the club.
Come to Poppy. Okay. You got it. You got it right. Merrick's not straining. It's weird.
Please give me the stone.
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay.
Every day, 200. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Dying. Okay, so once the stones are then dropped into place, the next step is to check the corners and get them level. So this guy, for instance, has to come down to line up that corner with that corner. This is lower. Is it up or down there?
No, right, the left.
Left. And it's also, I think, key to making this process work is turning the wrench in the correct direction.
Easy.
Just to put this all in perspective, this job is unbelievably awkward. You get in these weird positions. I'm working on one screw right now to level one corner. On this roof alone, there are 30,000 stone panels. So that means these guys have to make this adjustment 120,000 times. It's good.
It's good. Yes, that's right.
Last step, make this stone a permanent part of this roof.
The building is one step closer to completion, and I am one step closer to unlocking the architect's code. Local materials, old world masonry, grid lines and flow lines inside and out. I've gathered a lot of clues for deciphering the meaning encoded in the City of Culture's architecture. But as close as I am to solving the puzzle, something more pressing has come up. The third attempt at getting the experimental concrete to stick.
We're setting up the pneumatic pump once again to give it yet a third shot at possibly getting concrete that will hang on this angled wall and ultimately hang on the museum.
I just hope this goes better than the previous attempt. Rubber nozzles and concrete. Not a great combo.
Look at this thing. We got a new one made of solid steel. They made it just this afternoon. Now this one, is this going to pop?
No, este no rompe. No.
Because we got a little nervous. That thing went, that wasn't good.
The new concrete mixture slides down the chute, ready to be pumped.
Bueno, it's good. Mejor?
Sí, mejor.
Better. It's good. He's into it.
Creo que perfecto.
I think it's perfect.
Es posible.
The confident man.
The big bosses arrive, looking pretty nervous, and with good reason.
Now it's all business. We gotta knock this thing out. I mean, they failed twice now.
If this mixture doesn't work out, there's a good chance that nothing will. And that would be a disastrous setback to the entire project.
Here we go again. All right.
Compresor.
Air compressor's coming on. Here comes the concrete. Looking pretty good. It's all holding. Good, huh? Not moving at all.
But how the concrete holds in the next couple of minutes will be the final test.
Well, looks like 3 times is indeed the charm. Jose was right. The mixture was good. The concrete is holding. Next step, pour it on the roof.
But before that can be done, all hands are needed to finish prepping the roof, including mine. No more mock-ups. This is the real deal. 58 degrees steep and 170 feet high. A veritable steel mountain. And today, I have to climb it.
So if you look up there, you see these big, massive holes that still remain. Today, the plan is to take all this corrugated decking that's pre-cut, pick it up with the crane, get it in place, and get this roof one step closer to being finished.
Sounds simple, right? Except the museum roof is probably the most dangerous spot on the entire job site.
Look at that thing. It's like a steel sail with sharp edges on both sides. So if the wind starts blowing, work stops for the safety of the guys up there and for the safety of the people down here. That's not normal. It's just not normal. That is like climbing almost a vertical drop. Just...
All right, let's get it over with.
Hola. Hola. How you doing? Danny. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Marcos.
Marcos. Oh boy, this is awkward. This is how you get to work in the morning. Some people drive a car, get in an elevator, press a button, and they go to their desk. Marcos climbs at a corrugated steel mountain.
How did the architect arrive at this insane shape for the museum?
Oh man.
Or any of these buildings for that matter?
Thank you, Peter Eisenman, for this.
As much as I want to crack his code, I'd rather not crack my skull.
There's no elevator, huh? You haven't finished it? No? You gotta be kidding me. This is ridiculous. This is how you go to work every day.
Todos los días.
Every day you're working up here. Oh, man. This is like almost a straight drop. Okay. Oh. Oh, man. What is that noise? Is that entirely necessary right now? Oh, man.
Seriously? This feels a lot higher than 170 feet.
I got advice once from a guy working on very high scaffolding. He said when you get up top and you start getting really scared, look out of the distance and look at the view and kind of appreciate the view. It's not helping. Not doing a thing. Didn't work. Okay.
Maybe focusing on the job will help me relax.
Here it comes, here it comes. As the thing's coming down. You gotta be really careful of how it spins in the wind. It's essentially a 20-foot long steel razor blade. Be careful, that thing is sharp. So look, they just overlap on top of the next one. The corrugated piece goes right down, one on top of the next. They have about 1.5 feet of overlap, and so you're kind of creating a shingle system. The bullets go in there, then... Oh! Oh, man!
Carefully moving to the other side of the panel now.
Are you ready? Oh! One down, check it out. Next one's coming right in. The corrugated decking is so important because the second we get this up, they can then work inside without the rain. So this is a very, very important step to push this building one step closer. It's coming down, looks good. Nice. Good. Oh. 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 Muchas gracias, okay, man? If you want to learn more about this project or you want to learn more about me, just check out our website, discovery.com/builditbigger.
90,000 dump trucks full of dirt were removed to make way for the City of Culture. For 2 weeks, I've been trying to decipher the City of Culture. And though I've gathered lots of clues, unlocking its hidden message has eluded me. So today, the final day of my quest, I've decided to step away from the worksite in search of another perspective in the old town below. After all, millions of pilgrims have come here seeking knowledge. Why not me? Now, as I wander the 5 main roads that lead to the central cathedral, I begin to notice a familiar pattern to their layout. This is definitely an important clue. Maybe even the key to deciphering the architect's code. Now I just need to figure out how to use it. As I return to the project site, I'm greeted by another nasty storm. This place is absolutely deserted. Not a worker in sight. Oh, and by the way, I'm here, hiking up the less terrifying backside of the museum roof. Then I spot 2 diligent souls hard at work, despite the weather.
You speak English?
Yeah, really, I speak English.
What's your name?
My name is Kisei.
Yes, I'm Danny.
Jenny. Just pleased to meet you.
Do you know how long it's been since I met someone who speaks English? Where are you from?
From Ghana.
Ghana?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's raining. I miss a lot of rain. Wow. We have a rough weather, but that's how it is here.
This is nuts! Are you gonna weld in this?
No big deal.
I'm on a roof in a monsoon. I'm standing next to a lightning pole, and KISS is actually charging a thing with electricity right now. If only if I were running with a pair of scissors would this get any more dangerous.
Kisei is welding the bracing on which the stone tiles will ultimately sit. That's thousands of tiles running all the way down the slope. And that means more grid lines covering yet another roof.
Oh, I looked at it. I looked at it too. I'm gonna go blind and get electrocuted. This is great.
Spending months up here welding, Kisei has gained a deeper understanding of his craft.
Let me see the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, we have a lot of techniques. You hold it, put here.
So I'm holding the electrode. Ow!
It's shocking you?
Yes. Ow.
It shocked you?
It shocked me. Ow.
It gave
Ow.
you a shock?
Ow. Yeah, a little bit.
Here does not take current. You just put there and close it up. No shock.
What are you, like a genius? How'd you find that out? KISS has discovered the incredible fact that electricity passes through a human, but when it's put in the crotch of your elbow, it does not conduct current. What are you, like a mystic welder? How do you know this? Check this out. Pilgrims from all over the world come to visit the cathedral.
Yeah.
I have come to Santiago to climb the mountain to see you. I've come to see you. Kiss is the man on top of the mountain who knows things.
Yeah.
You are the wise man on the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later, man.
See you, bye. Ciao. See you.
As we say our goodbyes, Kise suggests I climb the rest of the way up, and I just might find what I'm looking for. As I gaze down on the project site and the medieval city below, I have a new perspective on everything. Up here, it's like I'm looking down on the architect's plan. His master plan. Wait, it's all coming together now. Folks, I think I just cracked the architect's code.
In order to come up with the incredible shape of the city of culture, the architect took the map of the medieval city of Santiago, picked it up, and moved it on top of a hillside. So the city of culture literally grows out of the hill. These streets, all these meandering roads that I'm on right here, are exactly what you find all over the city of culture.
Eisenman took the 5 main pilgrimage roads that lead to the old cathedral, merged their layout with the topography of the hilltop, then superimposed grid lines over everything, essentially designing the site to be a life-size map of itself. All those elements combine to form structures that contain the flow lines and grids found throughout the city of culture. And by employing the same local stone and masonry techniques used in medieval times, Eisenman has embedded the genetic code of the old city within his modern design.
So it's like he took the history of Santiago de Compostela, mixed it with the hillside, and pulled out a new building.
Cracking the architect's code finally reveals his hidden message, that our past will always be a vital part of who we are, even when we're building for the future.
Unbelievable. It is unlike a building I have ever seen.